disaster in the form of Cyclone Chido. Cyclone Chido, we cannot stop a cyclone, but we want to minimize the damage, we want to minimize the loss of lives for people. That's why we are very lucky that a few days ago, Cabinet endorsed our blueprint, which is the multi-hazard contingency plan. And in that, where is the blueprint? We must show people the blueprint rather than talking about it. Do you have a copy? Yes. We now want to translate what is in that blueprint into deliverables. It's not a question of cabinet endorsing the blueprint. It's a question of us disseminating the contents of that blueprint and start implementing in our respective areas. I know of the 8 provinces, if I am correct, Mr. Ngoma, they are likely to be visited by Cyclone Chido. If we are to go as per, it's a prediction. If we are to go by the prediction, and we must make sure that all those provinces are activated. Luckily, as I said, we are not the only country. This is a very good example of a transboundary hazard that we must deal with, because about half the number of the SADC countries are also likely to be visited by Cyclone Chido. So again, it assumes a regional approach in the sense that, as I said, at exactly 11 o'clock, if we are properly connected, we should be hooked onto the SADC Humanitarian Operations Center, so that we compare notes with what Ngoma is going to share with us and what the Climate Services Center has also predicted, and see how best we can marry the two. At the end of the day, if we combine and tie all the loose ends together, we should be able to make the right decisions. I think government in its wisdom has even activated the churches, it has activated the traditional leadership. You can't separate issues of spirituality and disaster risk management. There is a close relationship. So for those who pray the Almighty God using the church must pray for the country. For those who go the traditional way, I think the traditional leadership must find a way of propitiating our ancestral spirit, so that there is decence, there is normalcy in the way we are going to receive the rains. We need the rains. Remember, we are grappling with the effects of the current El Nino-induced drought. We want to graduate from it. So we can't then be saying we don't want these rains. We need the rains, we need to be saved from hunger, otherwise it will degenerate into a famine. So I'm sure we now understand that issues of spirituality and issues of disaster risk management, that's why government in its wisdom has roped in the churches, it has roped in the traditional leaders who are the first and the last responders in all these disasters that we are dealing with. So again, it's another structure that we need to actively activate and make sure we protect the lives of our people, we protect our properties. So I'm sure, Ngoma, as you take us through and you do your impact-based approach, we should then be able to come up with the solutions, measures as defined in the blueprint approved by cabinet. There is a pair of measures that we have agreed on that we must implement. Let's translate what is in that document into action. And I can rest assure you, once we apply what that Mount Hazard contingency plan, which we all developed, it was not developed by government, it was developed by government and its relevant stakeholders. So it's our document and we must fully implement it. But I kindly request that our response section, we disseminate the document. And my major appeal, I know there are a lot of competing interests. This is the time I think Treasury must also set aside some reasonable resources to ensure that in the event that something happens, we are able to assist. And as usual, prevention is better than cure. And this is the right time. All people in areas susceptible to flooding must get prepared now and be engaged. And I know you have given the 17th as the day when we are likely to receive our visitor, Chido. So I'm sure as we gradually approach the day, by then our local authorities, I think this is an issue. Those who are looking at the budgets for now must look at they must now look at the system and say, if you want us to approve your budget, you must clear all the storm drains. These are issues of procedure. These are matters very easy to implement. Any local authority that does not clear its storm drains must not have its budget approved. How can you have a plan that does not protect its environment? So I'm sure our local authorities department and our financial advisory services, they are taking note of this, so that as they look at their template for approving the local authorities' budget, that question must be asked. There is a lot of flash flooding which comes as a result of a deliberate failure by local authorities to clear their storm drains, and they must be punished. Their budgets must not be approved. We are sick and tired of talking about local authorities failing to clear their storm drains. That should stop, and we should find a way of penalizing such errant local authorities. Whether elected or whatever, we must find a way of punishing them. So in a nutshell, those are some of the measures that we also need to put in place. Raising awareness, yes, we'll raise awareness for our people in our respective areas. But let's make sure that even the evacuation centers that we choose are very easy to locate with the coordinates. I know in areas like Chimanimani, they are very good at that. And let's make sure we have a similar system in other areas. With those few remarks, I welcome Chido to Zimbabwe, to come with a lot of decency, to come with a lot of dignity. And I know our traditional leadership and our churches are praying hard so that we have some normal rains. Yes, we need to have rains so that we graduate from the current drought. Thank you very much.